Because we have to allow, if we want to change the politics of today, everybody needs to feel like they belong. They need to belong in the party, they need to belong on the campaign, they need to belong with their ideas. And he's been saying it everywhere he goes, it's about belonging, and it's about feeling like your voice, whoever you are, belongs in the party, belongs in the campaign, belongs in this presidency, because that's where we are as a country, and it's something that we have to do together.
The only other thing I'd add is another phrase you probably heard him say is winning the era. The one thing I've seen in every call I've ever been on with Pete is that he's not just interested in winning an election. He's interested in winning the era, frankly, for when my son is going to be alive, and hopefully in a place like this. And so when we think about the 25 policy rollouts that we've done, and they're very
26 today.
Oh, well, 26 today. These are policies not just about getting a vote here and a vote there. These are policies about how are we actually going to map the way back and the way forward from where we are right now. And so thinking about it again, and to bridge these two things, the only way we do that is together. The only way you do that is with an unlikely coalition of people from across this country who maybe by temperament, by background shouldn't be together, but they have to be. Because that's the only way you solve climate change. It's the only way you solve the future of work crisis that potentially is going to automate a third of current U.S. jobs. You've got to make everyone belong so we can win that next era for the people that, again, we don't know that we won't see these voices that we will never hear. And I think we might.
Can I just say, Josh, can I just say one thing?
Please,
I just want to say for everyone, thank you for coming.
Yes.
Please, 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 we could use your help for Virginia.
Please.
It's March 3rd.
Can you provide a little information on how to do that?
Yeah. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, please.
Go for it.
So a couple things. One is if you guys all have your phones, which I see a lot of you do, it's very simple. All you have to do is text 25859, text the word Baltimore. You'll start getting information about events that are happening. Keep an eye out that way. Also, after this, tomorrow you'll get an email follow-up. Everyone who's attended will send you information about events that are happening in Virginia, ways you can phone bank, canvass, text. Everything that's happening will give you the opportunities and the tools to use them. And the other thing I will say is talk to as many people as you can and get them to the rally on Sunday, preferably Virginians. That's always the best because they're voting in a week and a half, but anyone who can be there that you can get in front of Pete. As Sonal mentioned, there are 14 states voting on Super Tuesday, and then they're rapid fire afterwards, so we can't get Pete everywhere all the time to talk to everyone, so the opportunities we have to get him in front of as many people as possible, we need to take advantage of them. So those would be the immediate things I will say. Also, you might have seen, we have to raise a lot of money in order to be competitive in all these places, so thanks for everything you've done. Talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues, people you see on the street. Talk to them about Pete, why you believe in him. The best way to get someone to support him is not me sending an email or the campaign sending an email or a text. It's telling your personal story about why Pete for you. And it goes back to, whether it's about your son, whether it's about, an ailing parent who's having trouble with healthcare. Those are the stories that really matter to people because they trust you, and when you explain to them why you're for Pete, that's what convinces them. So those are the little things that we'll say. We'll give you the tools to reach out to people, but you guys have to be our ambassadors. So that's what I'll say. And I also just wanted to say, Mayor Medlock's here from District Heights, who's a supporter of And then I also wanted to say, some of you guys have been in some of the early states. There are still early states. South Carolina is not that far away, and I just wanted to turn it over to someone who has been on the road just to tell you a quick little story about what it's like going out there.
Can you say the number again?
25859. Text the word Baltimore. 25859. 5 numbers. Yeah.
So you probably heard today about.
She's got a
Can you hear, Neil?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
You're an actual organizer, so you can.
Well, professors can do this. So what I want to say is we probably all got that text today that said give $10 or make 10 calls. Okay. I want to tell you about a way that you can physically grab onto a piece of history and have it for the rest of your life. So I've gone to Iowa 3 times. The last time I was there, Sonal and I went over to her and Marcus Switzer and said, I was at your foreign policy event in DC. May I have a picture with you? Now I have that piece of history in my hands. I was there that night in Iowa. Okay? Then 3 days later, I'm in New Hampshire, and in Nashua, New Hampshire, in walks Chasten to give us a boost to go out because we're canvassing. So I had a shirt from the other day, basically, really from the LJ, that said, Iowa 4P. So what Chasten and I did is take out a Sharpie and X out 4 and put 1. And then Chasten signed it. So now I have a shirt that said, P1 Iowa. Okay? So there are chances now. I didn't get to go to Nevada this week. I have a job. But I'm going to South Carolina next week. And it is amazing the feeling you have when you run into a person who already supports, or when you run into somebody and you convince them because they don't know a thing and they're willing to listen, or they say, I'll vote for your guy because you're the only person who's ever come to my house. You're the only person who stopped to take time to answer my questions. And so you are really making your own piece of history. I mean, the swag can be great, right? That's a North Carolina volunteer, New Hampshire volunteer. I forgot to get one in Ohio, Iowa. So you can go out and do those things. You can go down for a day, really, truly. You can go to anywhere you want in South Carolina, okay? I can give you an email address and you tell them I want to go to Charleston and they'll be jumping up and down in their office. The packets for canvassing are extraordinarily well prepared. You get a map. You get the names of the people that you need to see. You get background information on their names and their ages. You get where their precinct is. This is scary in the first and incredible in the second. So, okay? Because it starts to happen, but it is not hard. You don't go places where you're lost. You can pair up with people. I've driven canvassers so that they can go in and out and we can be more efficient. If you can, go. Please, please, please go. They've stressed how important it is that this is the moment. You could be there. Thanks.